The highest village in the state, Surla gives little inkling that we are in Goa. As the crow flies, we are a mere 70 kilometers from the famous sun-kissed beaches of Goa. The humans of this small village have synchronized their lives with the rhythm of the evergreen forests on this plateau. At 800 meters above the mean sea level, Surla watches over the amazingly biodiverse Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary. The topography changes dramatically in the Western Ghats every few kilometers. Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary is a biodiverse haven for many species. The forests in Goa hold many mysteries yet to be discovered and classified. The mysteries of the evergreen forests, nature's own laboratory. It is June. One can smell the moisture-laden winds. Monsoons are a major event in the Indian subcontinent, an yearly respite from the hot summer that reaffirms our faith in the grand design of nature. Yet another cycle of life begins afresh. Soon, the forest wears a new shade of green. Its residents also go for a change in wardrobe. Sentinels of the great Indian plains, the Western Ghats act as a wall, breaking the onset of the moisture-laden winds blowing from the Arabian Sea. The plateau land of the Chorla Ghat region is a good amphitheater to witness this drama. The weather phenomena in this region is transient. In a matter of minutes, one can witness the onset of high winds and torrential rain. Then there is a respite for a few minutes. The same drama repeats in a loop. July, a month into the rains, when the monsoons are at their magnificent best, a strange foam nest appears on the branches of vegetation hanging over the water bodies. This unique nest is the handiwork of the Malabar gliding frog, a species endemic to the region. Inactive by day, the gliding frogs seem to be conserving their energy. At night, their passionate mating calls reverberate in the water bodies. Several smaller males try their luck with the larger female perched on the upper branches of the vegetation. This mating game goes on over many nights during the monsoons. However, a good party always runs the risk of attracting uninvited guests. Opportunistic predators lurk in the moist, spongy forest floor and in the branches above, waiting to spring an ambush. One such predator is the Malabar pit viper. This nocturnal hunter species of vipers is only found in the cooler, elevated forests of the Western Ghats. It is a slow-moving but fast-striking ambush predator that uses its heat-sensitive pits to track its potential target. Nature has given the Malabar pit viper a unique morph or color. The young of the Malabar pit vipers are brown in color, but as they grow into adult snakes, they show a diversity of morphs within the same geographical location. This evolutionary trait is intriguing to the herpetologists. The amphitheater of the forest still resonates with the mating calls of the gliding frogs. 1 week after the mating, there is a commotion in the foam nests. The purpose behind the strategic placement of the foam nests is revealed when the tadpoles escape, diving straight into the water bodies below. A new stage in their life cycle beckons. Throughout the monsoon months, nutrient-rich water trickles and cascades from the upper reaches of the Western Ghats to the lower reaches of the forest. Soon, seasonal waterfalls spring to life, adding to the beauty of the landscape. The silt-laden rivulets provide water and nutrients to farmlands, human settlements, and the dense evergreen and deciduous jungles in the lower reaches of the Ghats. Water is not just a carrier for the nutrients. It is also the theatre that hosts an important stage in the life cycle of many species in the forest. A rocky riverbed is a perfect home to the Nyctibatrachus frog. Commonly known as the night frog, the Nyctibatrachus has some uncommon calling cards. With its unique call, a male night frog invites prospective females to lay their eggs. After the mating, like any good father, the frog guards the fertilized eggs. He cannot lower his guard till the tadpoles are mature enough to jump into the fast-moving streams below. As the light fades, In the middle of the continuous downpour, the forest of Mhadei comes alive to the resonant sounds of a live orchestra. The monsoons herald the mating season for the cicadas. After remaining dormant for a staggering 13 to 17 years, they emerge with a single-minded intent, the intent to mate. The male cicadas sing a sonorous mating song to attract female cicadas. How romantic! We may think that they lived happily ever after, but no script is dull and predictable in the evergreen forest. A pathogenic fungus, lurking in the moist forest floor, attacks the male cicadas, destroying their reproductive organs. Males start behaving like female cicadas. They mate with other males, infecting them in the process. The infected cicadas meet a gruesome death, bursting from inside out. Not all fungi are parasitic. Mushrooms are an important food source for the macro residents of the jungle. Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary has its own sound and light show. The bioluminescent fungi complements the forest choir in a spectacle that is truly surreal. The circle of life, catalyzed by the onset of rains, continues even in death. The scent signals from this grey jungle fowl have attracted mature two-winged flies. They lay their eggs in the cactus. Soon, the eggs hatch and maggots swarm the decaying cactus. Maggots are an efficient band of scavengers. Within a matter of a few hours, all that remains of the grey fowl is a small heap of bones. Life springs from the earth. To the earth it returns. The nutrient cycle continues. Nothing goes to waste. The soil in these evergreen forests is among the most fertile soils on the planet. The remains of even the smallest creation enriches the humus. The droppings of one creature may be food for another. The dung beetle is a classic case in point. This highly evolved insect is a busy character. Its anxiety is not about career, marriage, children, and property. All that is for the humans. All that the beetle is chasing is a ball of dung. Male dung beetles are capable of heavy lifting. They can pull up to 1,000 times their body weight. The dung ball is both food and the calling card of an eligible bachelor. Incessant rains have, in the meanwhile, loosened the topsoil. The crisscrossing forest streams and rivulets carry nutrient-rich sediment into the rivers downstream. The Mhadei River, known downstream as the Mandovi, is the largest river in Goa. The nutrients it carries while flowing through the Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary are vital for the mangroves at the mouth of the river where it meets the Arabian Sea. The mangroves provide a sanctuary to numerous wetland birds during the winters. Nutrient-rich water from the Mhadei replenishes the food ecosystem for the marine life in the coastal waters. The monsoons have retreated. Soon the short winter sets in. 60 kilometers from the evergreen forests in the Western Ghats, Morjim Beach awaits a special guest. A rare species of sea turtles known as the olive ridley travel enormous distances to come and nest at Goa. In her traditional hatching ground, the mother turtle lays a cluster of 30 to 160 eggs before returning to the sea. By the time the eggs hatch, it will be summer. Baby olive ridleys are tiny and vulnerable. They feed on the smaller marine organisms to survive. By late summer, the young ridleys acquire the strength to take their journey across the Arabian Sea. As they take their baby steps towards the sea, one can hear the distant thunder and watch the dramatic build-up of clouds. The monsoons are knocking at the doors again, heralding yet another cycle of awakening and rebirth.